Gina, I wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. I jump out of the bed like with a ninja kick. I'm up and at 'em,
Oh my
like
God, I just got a visual.
visual. Nice.
I would like to see a video of you getting out. No, see, I want you to do that. I want you to get up tomorrow morning and do a ninja kick and videotape it. And
I'll do it right now.
I want to see that ninja kick. So what do you do when you get up at 4:00 in the morning? So what does a successful leader like you do when you ninja kick your way out of bed at 4 a.m.? What happens next? You're listening to The Pivotal Leader, where modern leaders talk about the moments that shifted their organizational cultures and pivoted their teams to success. Hey everybody, this is Gina Tremarco, Chief Results Officer of Pivot 10 Results, a strategy and training company that helps businesses shift from people problems to performance results. Each week on The Pivotal Leader, I feature inspirational leaders who know how to positively impact their customers, employees, and brand through culture building, and sometimes a little bit of disruption. But before we jump in, here's a pivotal fact for you. Your survive versus thrive ability hinges on your investment in your employees and your customers. If you don't provide meaningful, purposeful training and growth opportunities for your employees and results for your customers, they just might leave you and head straight for your competition. Having a solid strategy that includes a clear mission and core values that attract top talent and clients will differentiate you from the competition for all of your stakeholders. If you're a fast growth company that wants to succeed without implosion, let's talk. Shoot me an email at gina@pivot10.com or visit our website at pivot10.com. In this episode of The Pivotal Leader, I spoke with Justin Zastrow, CEO of Smart Armor. Smart Armor started last year and didn't officially launch until September. Since then, they've already generated more than $1 million in sales and counting. Justin has an extremely diverse business development background that highlights his strengths within concept creation, software integration, and corporate execution. He has built, sold, and licensed several companies throughout his career, and his entrepreneurial and business management education has helped his ventures to build platforms, engage partnerships, and forge syndication. So let's listen in and learn. Justin, welcome to The Pivotal Leader.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to talk about you because you have such a fun personality.
Oh, man, that's craziness. You don't even know me.
Well,
but I guess you're about to.
Yeah. Well, we talked once, and I really thought your personality was a lot of fun, so that's cool. And I think I was looking at your picture on LinkedIn, and I'm like, his picture doesn't really match him. And
Yeah. My assistant tells me that all the time. She's trying to get me new pics, and she's like, dude, it's just not you. Like, you're like the t-shirt guy and the shorts and the flip-flops on the beach that's like making moves that nobody does. I'm like, yeah, I guess.
It's completely. When I go, and I'm like going to pull it up now just to like remember, when I look at your LinkedIn profile, I'm like, is that the same dude I talked to?
Yeah, no, kind of not, right? Like I live in San Diego,
I know.
I'm not like the New York structured.
No. Well, I think, so you said your assistant, are you talking about Taylor, about Tay?
Taylor, yeah. Tay,
yeah.
She's wonderful, man. She helps me out so much.
Yeah, Tay is right. You need to change. Again, I'm looking at your photo right now, and it's kind of funny. It's like I don't even really think it's you. Yeah. Anyway,
go to Facebook. I posted some great pictures from Europe like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll go look at that. I know you're just getting back from London. We kept missing each other with schedules, but so. We talked about this a couple seconds ago before we started recording, and the purpose of this podcast is really about talking about culture, core values, and how leaders have an effect and an impact on their businesses by creating cultures. And oftentimes cultures are created by the founder's personality. And I know that you're an entrepreneur. So before we get into all the culture stuff and who Justin is, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about Smart Armor and anything else you want to talk about of what led you up to Smart Armor as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I'm not going to give you a pitch. I'm just going to throw it high level.
Yeah.
Kind of a story from the start, just briefly, was I just sold the previous company. I was really into software, started a software company. And my buddy was doing government contracting, running around, and his buddy who was working with mistook his heart medication, Coumadin, and then ended up in the hospital. And so he's like, come on, dude, like put alert on your phone when to take your damn heart medication, right? And, so it happened again. And the guy, just like probably like a buzzer, like I don't use an alarm, but like, like when you set an alarm, right, and you hit the button, you're like, leave me alone, like give me 15 minutes type thing. Well, that happened again, and ended up back in the hospital. So Ira comes to me, he's like, dude, he's like, can we make like a little pill box that's locked, and an adherence protocol. If you don't unlock the box with your cell phone, it'll send a message to your caretaker, right? And I'm like, yeah, we can do that through Bluetooth and, blah, 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 right? So the adventure began. We just kind of like created this cool little pill box that your phone opened, then kind of like had a quick realization that medication was a very, medicine's, the barrier to entry is, quite challenging, right? So we kind of had an aha moment, and we're like, holy crap, we make little physical locks that your phone is the key to. So we ended up like creating locks for triggers, for guns, for like a trigger lock, a lock for a magazine rack, like lock for luggage, and the bag that you carry around to the park with your MacBook Pro, and air, and you know what I mean, like all this crazy stuff. And we wanted to be the Intel Inside in portable locks. So we kind of had to come to a quick realization that we needed to put a B2C, a business to consumer product out. And that became SmartCube. The SmartCube has been tremendous for us. We did, over $1 million in the first 90 days, and hopefully do somewhere upwards of 25 million this year, our first year out. So it's been cool. The product retrofits like a GoPro inside any medicine cabinet, or keep your kids out of the poisons or the bleach under the sink, or your bedside drawer if you got some personals in there. Even at the office, you keep your coworkers out of your files if you're a financial guy.
Yeah.
So that in a nutshell is it. And like kind of the big plan for my business is to take the core technology and be the Intel inside of portable locking solutions.
So do you create the locks? Do you actually create? I'm looking at your website right now. So do you create the locking system, and then I see the cell phone is able to unlock it?
Yeah, the phone is the key, right? So you can share, and control access. You can log and monitor that data, who enters, when they do it, what time they're there. So it's a lot more than just kind of like the SmartCube that you see on the web, or probably all over the internet, because we do a bundle of marketing, which I think is a strong position, but who knows?
This is super cool. So how do people go? Okay, I see now on your website it says pre-order now, so they can go on. Can people get this product now?
So we are in the manufacturing process. We actually had to kind of take a step back. We did really well on a crowdfunding campaign, and then like I said, we did 1.1 in the first 90 days, and it was really cool. And then we had over 130 retailers and or wholesalers and or people that wanted to use the core technology for their businesses. So retail was the Best Buys, the Targets, the Home Depots, Lowe's, the CVS, all the big box chains, right? And then on a wholesale level, we can OEM these parts, right? We can take it and we can offer it to Stanley Security for a DeWalt branded product, or we can go to a brand like Safety First, who does $1 billion a year in child products, and label it to them. We're also into smart home, right? So we'll partner with like ADT or Comcast or iControl or Cox Communicate, or any one of these communication hubs inside your Alexa, Google Home, and they can chat. Our simple app can communicate through the whole process and talk to your Nest thermostat, or your Keep a Quick Set front door, your Philips Hue lighting, or anything that really kind of enables the home, your Ring doorbell, your Canary.
It's really super cool. So you launched last year, correct?
End of last year, yeah.
End of last year. So you guys are still like really in the startup phase, but when did you start assembling your team?
So I created the company. Ira and I created the company about 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And, you had to kind of, it's amazing, Gina, because we became an overnight success like 4 years later. You know what I mean? It's like, man, that's like a really cool, amazing company that's doing so well. It's like, yeah, it took 4 years to build.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second, because I think that's really important for a lot of people to know. Even in our business, we have two businesses. We have the training and consulting side of our business, but we also have an entertainment side, a consumer side that is improv shows, and we have an improv theater. And a lot of times I'll meet people who think that I got successful overnight, and overnight's been like 9 years.
Yeah.
It's a process. I think people just start noticing when the notoriety and the success start happening from all of the time you put into it.
Yeah. I mean, there is no easy path. I've had a few good opportunities in my life that have panned out kind of well, but every single one of them was a grind. You gotta, Gina, I wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. I jump out of the bed like with a ninja kick. I'm up and at 'em,
I just got a visual.
Visual? Nice.
I would like to see a video of you getting out. No, I want you to do that. I want you to get up tomorrow morning and do a ninja kick and videotape it. And
I will do it right now.
I want to see that ninja kick. So what do you do when you get up at 4:00 in the morning? So what does a successful leader like you do when you ninja kick your way out of bed at 4 a.m.? What happens next?
It's funny. I put it on Facebook the other day. I said, I forget what it was, but it was to the tune of the closer I get, the less I sleep, right? Like fed lions don't hunt, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So stay hungry and like get close and get there. I think there was I was probably getting a little too personal, but I'm hungry every day, and like, God's blessed me with really good opportunity and a really good team and a really good lifestyle and a really, way to be positive and share with kids and provide for the community and influence people on a positive level. And I don't think that there should be any other way than that. If you've got a gift or an opportunity to provide for others or to share with others or influence others, like, go on with your bad self, laugh, smile every day, get up and work your ass off, right? Nothing is given, like everything is earned. Every single thing in life is earned.
Amen. I don't even want to go on a tangent about entitlement because
don't let me get at my book with you.
Yeah. It's that's how I was raised. Everything is earned. Nothing is handed to you, and you work hard, and you gotta, you have to work smart too, but nothing comes really overnight so easy handed to you, I guess, unless you're super rich and you have people hand things to you. I guess there are some people that get that.
Well, that's a double-edged sword, right? Like, so people get rich by doing the things that we just chatted about, right? Or the Spooners get that, and I don't think Spooners really appreciate the diligent work ethic. However, they understand what it took to get there. So it's like you can't be mad at them for like really having a true appreciation of the culture. Like, shit, if I was a Spooner, damn, that'd be awesome. And I come from a great family and wealthy family, but I never asked for anything my entire life. I earned that, and I could have been given everything. You got to get your own worth in this life, and you got to do it from a place down deep. And I think that deep place is the inspiration that burns within. You know what I mean?
Well, don't you think that some of that comes from, I look at how I was raised, and we weren't raised with a lot. And my father was much older, so he had 2 daughters prior to having me and my brother. And my half sister then when she had her kids who are my age, they grew up very comfortable. My brother-in-law was an orthodontist, and those kids grew up really comfortable. My sister still maintained an attitude and work ethic that we were all raised with because my dad was so old school. So even though those kids didn't really need a lot financially, monetarily, they were still raised to be like, you got to go get a job. You have to go understand. Yeah, go to work and learn what it takes to work. So you can also be someone from privilege or a well-off family, but it comes down to the parenting. And if the parents teach you the value of money and the value of working and the value of ethics, that's going to change everything for you. And if there's a little comfortableness of the background of having some money in your background, that also gives you this kind of, in my opinion, a sense of, oh, I can make anything happen, because it feels like there's a little bit of a net. And I think throughout my career and my business, as I got more successful and had more money in the bank, I was less risk adverse because I knew I had a little bit of comfort. But it didn't stop me from being hungry. And I love that quote, fed lions don't hunt. So stay hungry. So let's go back to your team. So I can only imagine what it's like to work for you. So
tell me more.
What is the culture like at your office? What does that look like?
I think it's imperative that you talk to your people on the daily. I think it's so important. I was actually just sharing with the owner of a company that I advised last evening. I was saying, you got to be willing. Let me just kind of like put this into perspective. So our company grew relatively fast. Like I said, 4 years later, you know what I mean? And I think it's so important that you just be true to people. You make sure that you lead by example, right? So for me, waking up early, getting a workout in, if you can do that and you can have fun, you can eat right, and you can take people out for beers, and you can laugh, and you can smile, and you can like share success stories and share miserable experiences to the business or dealing with a crab ass. And we're all ornery, but I think just being happy and living life is the most important thing. And I think a lot of it is derived from like the healthy body, healthy mind thing. So my co-founder, Ira, and I have always made it a point. You know, he's an Ironman. He's done Ironman. He missed going to the, I think, champs in Hawaii by like 6 minutes. But he's just an amazing dude and kind of a go-getter. Like, who the hell wants to do that? Who wants to bike 100 miles and run a marathon and swim 2.5? Like, that's cray in a day. And then, you know, but it's that ability to go out and get it. When I tried out with Milwaukee Brewers out of high school and like wanted to go get it, the same thing that kind of ninja kicks you out of bed in the morning is the same thing that drives you to be successful and to work hard. And I think if you're a good person and raised from a good family, you come from a place of peace that allows you to be good to other people as well. Because, you know, like we just chatted about, right? Like if you can influence people, if you can be there for somebody, if there's so many people in this world that are so selfish.
Oh God, yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it's so terrible. Like my dad said one thing to me a long time ago. He's like, Justin, he's like, if you were in jail at 3 a.m. for doing something stupid, who could you pick up the phone and dial? And who would be there within a short amount of time? Those are your friends. Everybody else wants to tug on the strings of the shirt and like get at you, but like realistically, and that's cool. But what's cooler is that he was like, that's the type of dude that you need to be toward other people. If you want that, you gotta be willing to give that. So I've carried that in life and chose the friends that I have and the business partners that I have, and I try to like influence my team. And I find that our company culture is a very active, a very healthy, a very warm, a very laughable, loving heart, you know. And I think that all culminates in this beautiful energy cycle that perpetuates greatness for us. And it's been cool, man.
And how do you find your employees, or how do you find your team? And early on in your business, but because your overnight success in 4 years, your growth is going to actually start to accelerate pretty quickly very soon because you're building that momentum. So how are you attracting team, and what are you doing to prepare for the fast growth that's about to hit?
So all my team is people that I've known or have been referred into me. I don't hire blind. I've always been very vocal about what I'm doing. You know, hey, I'm Justin. Like, you know, I'll meet you in a bar, at a restaurant, or at a ball game, and it's like, hey, I wave my hands. You know, I'm in like this fluorescent pink and blue and whatever the hell color. You know, like, yo, look at me, talk to me. And I think just the magnetism of people learning it. I don't know. It's I guess I'm going in a roundabout way, but like
No, it's I get it. It's your energy, your magnetism. I think people are attracted to people who are upbeat and fun and happy and cool and laid back. Why would we want to work with tight-ass, grouchy people?
Yeah, well, and so that's why, like, I don't hire, right? From outside, like, people that know me, know my stories, know my work ethic, and want to be involved. And I think that, you meet people and you do that thing at a ball game. You're like, hey, hey, hey. And then you like realize if people are close to you or you're part of your culture, your lifestyle, and then you build those friendships, and then people want to get at that, right? If it's cool, people take a flyer, like I've had a lot of people take a flyer on me, and God bless them. They were freaking right,
What about your next steps for fast growth? Has that even crossed your mind of how you might handle some of that, the wild ride ahead?
Yeah, it has. We've been offered some a good amount of money to just walk away from everything. We won't. Like, I got a 9-digit number in mind, and potentially more. The team is in place. We've built that internally through friendships and ambition and successes, and we kind of build it with like you think about a pyramid, right? It's got a wide base and kind of a skinny top, right? And it all kind of triangulates at the top. But if you could open that pyramid to the length, to the width of the base, and then continue to do that, you got so much infrastructure to be able to grow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So we built that with our team initially. So as we scale, the team can scale because of the company heads that partners now. I basically hired a bunch of mini companies, company owners that were in my field to be owners. So as we need to scale, they've already got that infrastructure in place.
Yeah, that's smart. So
Smart armor.
That is smart armor. Yeah, there you go. That's really smart. So a lot of your team is already entrepreneurial with their own infrastructure.
They all own their own companies, every single one of them. That are investors and partners. Yeah, out of the 15 of us.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's smart. As a leader and entrepreneur, what is a strategy, a pivotal strategy that you would recommend for other leaders, rising leaders? What is a strategy that everybody should have in their playbook?
As far as business goes?
Yeah, I mean, for leading a business and driving a business and scaling a business, what is one key strategy that everybody really needs to have?
You know what? So this is, I think, so imperative. And it's kind of what I go to. And I don't think a lot of people feel the way that I do, which I think bodes well for me, right? And I've always been one to give equity away to partners or to bring people on the team, as well as cash or whatever was necessary to do it. But if you give people a taste, actual like something to own, to know, to talk about as an owner, it doesn't matter if it's 0.25%, 1%, 10%, or whatever it is, right? People love talking about what they own, and they work hard because now they got their name on it, their life on it, and they told 1,000 of their friends about it, or whatever, 2 friends, you know what I mean? Like, they just make it their own. Right. So my whole thing in all my businesses, and most specifically this one, was bring on the talent and give them a piece. Make it their own, let them make it their own. And it's great because we built some amazing talent. And that really is what allowed us to get to where we're at.
That's an excellent strategy. I haven't heard that come up yet. And I think it's so smart, Armor, because because anytime anyone has skin, and see what you did there, I listen. Anytime there's skin in the game, right? There's skin in the game and people are invested in some way, they're going to produce for you, which is ultimately producing more for them.
Yeah. And people are like, well, don't you want to conserve your equity, this and that? I'm like, dude, I turned down $20 million for the company a few weeks back. Like, who would do that? It doesn't matter if I'm owning 50% of a company at $20 million or owning 25% of the company at like $250 million. Like, would you rather eat a grape or take a bite of a watermelon? And I think the watermelon is that's what you, and then you walk away being like, I founded a company that sold for like $250 million. Like, fuck off. Like, I'm sorry if that wasn't necessary. But like, come on, like I'll put my name on that one. And everybody along the ride with you that has a little piece, like, I did that too. You know?
I'm still loving do you want to eat a grape or eat a water or take a bite of a watermelon?
Yeah, everybody wants the big nugget, you know?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Exactly.
Get you some.
The watermelon's a little juicy. I'll take the watermelon. I think I need to come to Smart Armor and hang out there. And
come to the beach, baby. Come to the beach.
Or you come to my beach. Well, we could beach swap.
Well, let's beach bomb it.
East Coast to West Coast. Hey, this has been awesome.
Was that a Tupac Biggie reference?
I don't think so. I don't know, maybe. We're coming towards the end of the podcast, and I always ask the same question, everybody. I have a feeling I might know what your answer is, but let's see what you say. So the final question we ask everybody is, what kind of animal are you in business and why?
Said lions don't hunt, right?
I know. I was like, I think he already kind of gave us the answer, but I don't know. You might have a different answer. We going with lion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll bring the mane.
Yeah.
Or keep the eye of the tiger, you know? Like,
okay.
You know, just get there. Just own it. Love it.
Awesome.
Have people respect it, you know?
If anybody wants to connect with you, get to know you, offer you 9 figures, what are the best ways to connect with Justin? And I did just friend request you on Facebook so I can look at your pictures.
Oh, goodness gracious. Justin at smartarmortech.com or smartarmortech.com is good. Yeah.
You have been so fun to talk to on the Pivotal Leader. So I want to thank you, Justin, for being with us today.
You're a peach. I appreciate you.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap it up. So once again, thanks to Justin. Thanks everybody for listening. And I will put contact information for Justin in the show notes, which you can find on our website at thepivotalleader.com. The Pivotal Leader is a production of Pivot 10 Results, a strategy and training company that helps businesses shift from people problems to performance results. Remember, you can find our podcast on iTunes. And if you're an iTunes subscriber, please leave a rating and review. And if you're not a subscriber, you really should be. Feel free to email me any questions you might have about employee engagement or customer acquisition at gina@pivot10.com, and I will answer those in upcoming episodes. And until next time, everybody, if you're feeling stuck in your business, it's probably time for you to pivot.
Hashtag be rad.
You've been listening to The Pivotal Leader. To learn more about how to shift your culture and pivot to success, visit pivot10results.com. That's pivot10results.com.